Good morning, class. Professor Feng here, and welcome to the first episode of the Cata DDA in-depth guide series. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to actually download the game so that we can actually, play it. That would be a very good place to start, wouldn't it? Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do it via the Cata DDA launcher, or you can manually download it yourself and just extract it. So we're going to go through both processes. So first of all, you probably want a folder, a separate folder to put the game in. So as you can see, I've made a folder called Professor Fengferth, because of course. Next, you need to decide what you want to get, whether you want to get the game launcher or if you want to download it manually. So if you want to download the launcher, this is the link to the GitHub. I will put these links in the description below if you want to click via those instead. Okay, then. So currently we're in version 1.3.11.1. And we've got three options. You can either download the Cata DDA launcher itself. This is the one you probably want to pick if you just want to play the game. And then you've also got the source code if you want to compile it yourself. That's way too advanced for me. That's way too advanced for a professor like myself to do any of that. So yeah, we will be just clicking the first one. So while this is downloading, I'm going to go ahead and save that. So while that is downloading, you can also do it manually if you go to this site. This is the original Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead site. You can click on this right hand side here on the Windows or Linux, depending on which one you want. That's the stable release, that's 0.c. Now bearing in mind the experimental has got a lot of changes since then. A lot. I think it's been nearly 2 years since this was released. Wow. It has never been 3 years. Holy shit, over 3 years since 0.c has been released. There's been a lot of changes in the experimental branch, a lot. But you can also get it by clicking these. So for example, if I want the Windows graphical, I'll click this and it will give me a list of, I believe, the latest 10 builds. Yeah, that's right. Feng can count, or is that 11? I don't know. Either way, it's a number. So you just click whatever you want and then you just save. Simple as that. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that. Now you can also get to the forums here, although the forums are no longer active anymore on this. The new forums are here, and I will also put the link in the description if you want to go there and say hello, or just see what people are chatting about for the game and whatnot. It's a great place. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and grab this. There we go. So I'm going to cut that and I'm going to paste it in here. So that's the launcher. Right, now we're going to go ahead and double click it and run. Now there's a couple of advantages that the launcher has over manually downloading, and we'll go through that in a bit. So here is the Cata DDA game launcher. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to settings. Now I want to make sure some things are checked. So the main things we're going to look for is use the launch directory as the game directory. Now this is actually off by default. So I've actually got this tick. So this will use the same directory as the launcher. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. If we go to main, we can see that this is now the default directory for this. Okie dokie. So we want to now download the latest experimental branch. So we need to pick whether we want tiles or console. So I think, if I remember correctly, the difference between these is that the console just uses ASCII characters, whereas tiles, you've got the option of having ASCII and graphic tiles. I think, if that's what I remember. But either way, we're going to be going with tiles. You can pick whichever you want. Now, platform, this will depend on what operating system you're using. If you're using a 32-bit operating system, then you want to click this one. If you're using a 64-bit, then you want to click this one. Pretty simple and straightforward. Now, don't do what I do. If you install the game and then you come to update it and you pick a different platform, it will actually override everything. So don't do that. Just when you select one, keep it. So make sure it's the right platform. Okay, now you can choose what build you want. Now, as you can see, the latest one was 3 hours ago, which is 7,576. You can also refresh it as well. This will also refresh the changelog, and one of the cool things I do like about this is that you actually do get a rough changelog of what's changed in the latest builds, and sometimes there's a lot. As you can see, this one has 66 fixes, additions, etc. So yeah, sometimes you just get one thing. So there's just document revisions for npcs.md. I like to say I know what that means, but I don't. So yep. So once you've selected the build, you then go ahead and press install game. Now this will go ahead and download the files that you need in order to play. Now we are going to have to just, it's a little bit, probably not too long. So there we go. And now it's extracting stuff. And now it's reading stuff, and it's done. Nice and quick. Nice and quick. Okay, so let's check out these other tabs. So this is the backups tab now. Usually, with Cata DDA, because of it being a roguelike, it does mean that when your character dies, it stays dead, you know. The world also usually gets deleted. Some people like to play, they keep the same world when they make new characters. Kind of adds a little bit to the story, I guess, so they can try and find their old body and loot it, which is really cool and all, but for me, personally, I prefer to play with the world being deleted as well. But what the backups do is basically, if anything happens, if your character gets screwed over by maybe a bug or something, then at least if you have backups, you can back up your saves, and then you can save that character if you need to. So that's fantastic. Now this will not be on by default, so you probably want backup saves before game launch, and you may even want backup saves after game end, depending on how you want to do it. I'm actually going to do it on game end, I think, possibly, or actually you can do it on both. And the maximum automatic backups count is 6. You can change this if you feel like you need more. And you can also do manual backups as well, which is really, really nice. Okay, so mods. So on the left hand side here, this is the mods that already come with the base Cata. And there's actually quite a lot of nice mods. My personal favourites are probably the stats through skills. We'll talk about that in a later episode. And more survival tools if I can bloody find it. Yeah, more survival tools right there. And if you click on the mod, it gives you details, so you can see the name, you can see who made it, description of it, and how big it is. Really, really cool. Now on the right hand side is the repository. So what this will do is, these are mods that don't actually come with the base game. So you need to install these manually. Well, manually-ish, I should say. So for example, if we want Archam's Gun Emporium reloaded, if we want it, don't have to, but if you do want it, then you could click install this mod. Then what you have to do is you have to open the URL in your browser, download the mod, and wait for it to complete, and then select the download archive. So I already actually have this downloaded, but I'm just going to show you what you have to do. You have to click it and then just download it, like so. Okay, now I've already got this in my repository, so we can go ahead and just click install this mod, and there we go, that's done. So let me show you. There it is. That's all the guns that you need to survive the Cataclysm, because more guns are fun. More guns are lots and lots and lots of fun. Okay, now I'm just actually going to go ahead and just delete that for the time being. Sound packs. So this is if you want new sounds. Now the bass sounds are okay. I personally don't play with sound on anyway. When I play Cata, I usually have music anyway, so I'm not really that bothered with sounds. But if you're bothered with sounds, then it might be something you might be interested in. The basic one's okay, but if you want some of the other ones, all you need to do is exactly the same as you did with the mods. You click on the repository, you install the soundtrack. You have to download. Oh no, you don't have to download these ones manually. This will actually download it for you. That's cool. There we go. I can hear that cat meowing like mad. Oh dear. So we might as well let this finish installing. Just shows I can show you that it'll say it's installed. And there we go. So there we go. We've now got this as an option if you want to have the chest hole CC. Okie dokie. I think that's pretty much it for the actual game launcher. So we're going to go ahead and launch the game. Oh dear. It's fine. It's fine. I found out what was wrong. AVG was going a little bit overboard. It doesn't recognise it as a proper file because AVG sucks like that. So let's try this again. We're going to go ahead and launch the game, and then it will lower down, and then we get this window, this very small window that you can barely see anything on. Now we're not going to go through that in this episode. All we are going to do is how to actually download the game so you can play. That'll be next episode when we talk about how to change settings and whatnot. Okay, so now that we've got the normal launcher down, I'm going to go ahead and just cross that off. So I'm going to make a new folder in here and call it Professor Fengferth 1. Okay. And we're going to do it, and we're going to download it in the manual way. So we're going to go ahead and pick Windows Graphical, and we'll click that. We shall save the file, like so. There we go. Let's open it. So we'll cut that. We'll paste this. There we go. Then all you need to do is extract it. Now make sure you have RimWire for this. If you don't have RimWire, I'll also link that in the description if you want to use that. I think you can use 7-zip as well, but I don't like using 7-zip at all. What we're going to do is we're going to extract it to its own archive. Now this might take a bit longer, but once it's done, there we go. Then all you gotta do then is select Cataclysm tiles. Yes, AVG's gone. I'm gonna... Right, give me 2 ticks, guys. I apologise, I've just murdered my AVG. Anyway, if we go ahead and double click this and run. There we go. All done. Okay then guys, so that's going to be it for this particular episode. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Just bear in mind, I don't use Linux and I don't use Mac, so I'm not sure how to do it with those. I think with Mac, I think you might need Wine, possibly, to run the Windows version. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But yeah, I hope this has been useful, and I shall see you for the next video.